Hello there. Oh, the Australian accent's come back. Have you ever wondered why we love watching people get... I probably can't say the word, because it's like bad, illegal, naughty. But have you ever wondered why we like true crime? That's what I'm going to call it today, but really I mean... Because I've often found myself going through like binge phases of watching true crime and being like, why am I watching this? Why does it intrigue me so much? Why do I love it? Why am I addicted? Why am I binge watching horrendous crimes? And this isn't just me, my friends. No. It is a lot of people. A lot of people tuned into Dahmer, I've forgotten what the Netflix show was called, but Monster or something. Anyway, very good. Probably one of my favourites. And I have my own favourite serial killers. Would you believe it? Number one, I would say Dahmer's got to be up there. Very weird, inventive. And I don't mean this in like I think they're great. I just think... I find the story most fascinating. That's what I mean by number one favourite. I don't mean like I advocate for what they do, okay? So Dahmer's like got to be up there. If you don't know Dahmer, I probably can't go into the detail, but maybe I can. Do you know what? I won't spoil it for you. Go watch the Netflix show or just read up about him. Very, very interesting, odd, and... sad. Let's put it that way. Number two, I've got to say that Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper, is up there. Just in the way that he was so sort of undercover and nobody assumed it was him. He was interviewed by the police a whole 9 times and nobody thought it was him. And I think that's pretty bloody incredible. In terms of like, not him being incredible, not him being a great person, just incredible in terms of like, he was that inconspicuous or conspicuous, I forget which way around it is. He was that unobvious that no one was like, it's got to be this guy, come on. 9 times. 9. So, it's increasingly popular with women as well, which I find very interesting, given that women are the most likely, and that is a fact, the most likely to be victims of these crimes. And so it's like, why are we watching this? Are we not just giving ourselves mental health problems? So that's what I'm diving into today. Boom. I'm going to cover, is it actually bad? What are the positives if it ain't that bad after all? Why do we watch it? Do you know what? This isn't in order. Number 1, why do we watch it? Number 2, is it even that bad? We'll find out. And if not, are there sort of positive reasons for watching it, and how can we do it more healthily if it is, bad? So obviously with anything there are positives and negatives, but let's talk about why we watch it. Number 1, I would say for me, I find myself watching these shows because I'm curious. You know what they say? Curiosity killed the dawn. Because it's not good for me. I often find myself watching them. God, I get really hot doing these podcasts. I'm taking my feet off and having the earth suck all my all my heat energy out of my body because it works. I'm wearing slippers, but they are off. They have come off. The slippers are off. So, for me, it's curiosity. Like, what drives these people to do this? And I think we as humans are so into extremes. Like, all you have to do is look on YouTube and it's like, I did this very extreme thing and this is how it went. And we're looking for more and more and more extreme stuff. And what is more extreme than a serial killer? Like, most of us, 99.99999% of us are not going to be a serial killer. So it then makes us question, what is it like to be completely the opposite from what I am? Like I said, on YouTube, we only really watch stuff that is like highly fantastical, over the top, extreme, kind of like, I went and all you have to do is look at Mr. Beast videos, right? It's like, I went and stayed in this £1 million a night villa, and then I stayed in this £1 a night villa. And it's that complete extreme that really drives our curiosity. Like, what is that actually like? So if you think killing someone or being a serial killer is like so opposite to you, like I would never think about doing that, or like it's really horrendous, obviously you're going to be intrigued by it, aren't you? So there are also a few other reasons. Okay. We as humans really love a couple of things. Number one, extremes. Number two is stories. We love a conflict and we love closure, resolution. That is just, I don't know why. I need to look into it really, because I am fascinated by human psychology. I really am. Like, why do we love, I think it's just settling for us. Like mentally, we're like, okay, we know what our brain loves is to come up with a solution to everything. It's like, oh, I must be tired because I'm iron deficient. It's not like I'm just tired. It's like, no, why am I tired? I need to know the reason why, so that I know how to problem solve it next time, or how to problem solve it now. And without that kind of resolution, our brains are like, oh, what do I do now? Like, I need to learn from this. And it is a self-protective measure, because it's like human brains want to be the best that we can be. It doesn't even matter who you are, like most people do, because we learn from our experiences. And if you don't learn from your experiences, you could die, right? Or you could be in serious danger. You touch the hot hob as a kid. Ow, that hurt. It burnt me. I won't do that again. I've learned from the experience. That is a conflict. I want to touch the hob. I touch the hob. A resolution. I burnt myself. I'm not going to do it again. So it's like this. I think I've just answered my own question, guys. So hats off to me. We don't need to go and do the research now. So basically, we love a conflict and resolution. And most of the time, and I will get on to unsolved crimes, because I think they are a fascinating thing into themselves. I don't know that phrase. In unto themselves, whatever. I think they're fascinating because we don't find out the reason. And again, I'll get onto it in a minute. But with a lot of crime documentaries, true crime documentaries, we find out who did it. And we actually know before who did it. Like the Dahmer series, like we know Dahmer did it because it's about him. And then the resolution is that he ends up in prison, and so on and so on and so on. So we know justice has been served. There is a resolution to this. It's very cathartic. And what I mean by cathartic is it's settling for us. It gives us like a nice release of emotions, like settling emotions. Like, oh, okay, he's in prison now. He's not going to hurt anyone. And talking about hurting people, the other thing about crime documentaries is that they make I personally actually think this, right? I watch these horrible documentaries on my own. I don't know why I choose to do it on my own. It's probably self-sabotage, like everything else in my life, but I watch them on my own. And then like at night time, I've actually banned myself from doing this because my adrenaline is like up here. I basically think someone's going to come and like storm down the door and come in and horrendously murder me. So yeah, let's move on from that. So basically, it makes us feel like we are learning from this and how to therefore protect ourselves. We go, okay, well, the person who they killed was a prostitute who was out on the streets at 1 a.m, got into a random person's car, and therefore never returned. Now, we can then reassure ourselves and be like, well, I'm not a prostitute. I'm not going to go out at 1 a.m. on the streets, get into a random person's car, and never return again. And we like to think that that's like protecting ourselves because we're not going to enter into that circumstance, which is very, again, settling for us. And it's like a primal instinct, you know? We're not going to get hurt because we've learned from that person's unfortunate circumstance, and therefore we can protect ourselves and our family. And that's kind of what being a human's about, isn't it? It's about living. and passing on our genes and protecting our genes. As much as you might not like to think it is, that is literally the whole purpose of our lives, I think. Yes, we're going to have fun, blah, blah, blah. But the whole, like, background of being human, being an animal, being any organism, is to pass on our genetic material and live forever in the form of offspring. Wow. I also think I quite like a little adrenaline rush. And there aren't many safe ways to get an adrenaline rush apart from watching true crime. You do get a bit of an adrenaline rush. You're like, ooh, like there's a lot going on here and it's scary. But I'm also sitting on the sofa eating popcorn. Like, I'm not doing anything dangerous myself, therefore I'm not going to get hurt. Therefore, actually, I'm probably actually going to be better off, in inverted commas, because of this, because now I know how to protect myself. So actually, it's kind of this weird backwards adrenaline rush where we are kind of experiencing an adrenaline rush, but a safe one. And that can be, again, really settling for us. So another reason why we watch them. I also think there's an educational benefit. A lot of people like human psychology. I'm very into it. I'm like, why do people do that? I'm that person that reads all those airport books where it's like, how do we read someone's mind? Or how do we, like, body language? Or I've not actually read either of those, but I've watched some body language stuff. And I would say I'm quite good at body language, mainly because of my job. Like, I work as a doctor, so I do read a lot of stuff. Also, I meet a lot of people and I read a lot of their body language, but also having anxiety, I do think gives your brain like a heightened sense of watching people's reactions to things, and therefore you might be like a little bit overreactive to it, but you're also like much more like honed in on watching people's emotions. So I've basically got a double whammy. Oh, this fucking iPad needs to stop screen blacking. What do you call it? I don't know. Timing out. I'm talking so quickly that I'm like literally not breathing. It's really bad for me. Now, there are also kind of negative reasons why we watch it, and I think if you do this one's actually really interesting. Now, most people that watch true crime are female. And it's like, well, they're the most common victims of this true crime, so why are they watching it? I look like I've got a plan exploding out of my head. The main reason is to play out our own vulnerability and pain. Why? Why do we do this to ourselves? Maybe because we think that we'll be able to protect ourselves. Maybe because it's happened to us in the past and we like to have some kind of connection with the characters, or the victims, I should say, not characters, they're not characters, with the victims, and we can kind of empathize with them a little bit, maybe not fully if, you know, they were killed, but we can empathize with them. Now, it may be kind of therapeutic to go through this, but there are obviously dangers, and that is what we're going to get onto now. Dangers. Because I actually read something online the other day that was like, if you watch true crime to relax, now I don't watch it to relax, you'll be pleased to hear. I watch it because of all the other reasons I've just mentioned, mainly curiosity, mainly, you know, it is quite extreme, mainly probably because I feel like I'm enhancing my education. Oh dear, I'm going to have to edit that one out. Oh. But if you watch